Women's girls in a couple of weeks against the Carbel girls. I
like the schedule. We got
I
some
saw
great
them
games.
last week over at Shelbyville.
They're impressive.
A great Rushville team led them most of the way, and they closed the deal at the end, and Goss picks up the second half right where Ben Davis left off. She has 7 now, and the score is 48-16 Ben Davis.
They haven't missed a beat. Obviously, just a nice, little quick ball movement. Little baseline jumper by Bria Goss. To her today. I mean, she's realistic. She knows that she's been dealt a difficult hand, but she loves this group of kids, loves the progress they're making, and just knows that they're young and puts a lot of credit on the part of the growth and development of this team to Molly Adrienne Sam, because of her leadership. I mean, here's a senior that has just gone out there and continued to play and do things, and she's paired up with a real young group of kids, and she's the consummate leader.
Baseline jumper by Goss gives her 13, and one of the things that they're doing is taking a little pressure off Sam defensively by putting her at the top of that zone. That'll
certainly have not gone the way you want them to go. I mean, they are quick off the dribble.
Look at that.
And they're quick off everything. Just a great defensive play.
Typically, that ball is going to get there.
And I hate to certainly criticize officials. I never did as a
You
coach.
didn't have a habit of that when you were on the bench,
this was
I know.
a great steal on the part of Bria Goss. And
Bentley, a rare miss of the free throw line, atones for it there with her 9th point. She's closing in on double figures now, and the advantage balloons to 51-18 at the 6-minute mark of period 3.
Well, if you're both teams, you're not worried about time and score. You're worried about execution, right? Talked about this at halftime. It's not about score. It's right now. It's not time and score. It's about us as a group and us as individuals playing the way we're supposed to play, because we got a lot of basketball to play, not only tonight but throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, you'd almost like to make the agreement somehow, some way to make that clock very inconspicuous so no one could even see it. That way they could just go out and execute the way they're supposed to execute.
Well, just play. I mean, this is the whole thing. Play and do the things we've worked on in practice and do it the best you can.
Williams with a finish. She has 9, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Sam goes inside. Shot put up, no good. Rebound in transition. Bentley throws it back inbounds. Never out of position, are they?
No, they really aren't.
A rare miss inside, but now she comes back to finish. It is Kiara Goss. She has 15 now.
Well, all 5 kids can run the floor, Mark. I mean, that's the whole thing about it. I talked about it earlier. They have 5 who can sprint, and they can handle it, they can pass it, and they can finish it. She kind of got herself in a spot on the side of the floor where, she saw the pressure coming, got the arm out, got the foul.
55-18, Ben Davis looking to go to 15-0 and hold on to their number 1 ranking in both polls. 3-pointer Bentley rattles it home. Double-figure score now with 12. Coach Bamrick wants a timeout.
You are nothing if not the font of information.
You could have stopped the first part of that. Most would have agreed with that statement right there. During the broadcast of the Indy 500 last year,
yes,
on the first intro, and boy, did I hear about that.
Well, and I'm sure from the adoring public in Monrovia.
Yeah.
Moments. I mean, she's not worried about time and score. She's worried about settling her group down and making them understand, look, let's just play the way we practice. Let's play. Let's execute. Let's not get flooded. Let's maintain some composure, and let's stay to our plan. Do the things we've worked on doing.
Well, down the stretch, we mentioned they play Plainfield on Saturday night, then 1A Lafayette Central Catholic, then on the 20th of January, Heritage Christian. Then they'll play Arlington, Perry Meridian. Cathedral never refuses a phone call when someone calls them and wants to schedule. And it doesn't matter what their personnel is like. I mean, they want to compete at every sport and everything, athletically and academically. That's what they do there. And they know that some years they're going to have years like this. You have in girls basketball.
And here you just have a miscommunication. Poor Molly Sam. But again, we talked about the turnovers. That's just one of those turnovers that you don't really need to have. Looks defensively that you're going to need throughout the rest of the season and possibly into the tournament.
Edwards with the basketball, checked in during the stoppage and
got
play.
Her on 5. You won't beat it off the dribble. I mean, that's just you've got to attack. If you're going to dribble, you've got to attack. You've got to move people and move the ball
like that.
So quick at getting help and recovering. I mean,
she is at the 8-point barrier and is stuck there. Ball out of bounds this season in the postseason.
That's a matchup people talk about
Be
a
a good
lot.
one, wouldn't it?
It'd be a great matchup.
Carmel may have something to say about that.
A lot of schools
they're
want to
a
have
strong candidate
absolutely.
for a repeat. We mentioned Terre Haute South, Hamilton Southeastern, loaded again. That 5A is going to be awfully competitive come tournament time. Som off the 3, a bump, no call. Rebound to Ben Davis, and here they come in transition. Trying to go one-on-one is Bria Goss. A bit out of control there and turned the basketball over.
But not in transition.
4A, Ben Davis, South Bend, Washington, Terre Haute South, Hamilton Southeastern, and Mooresville, your top 5. I think Mooresville will find out just how competitive they could be in the postseason, as we mentioned earlier on the 27th, when I believe it's the 27th, when they take on the Braves of Terre Haute South. That'll give them a good idea how good they are. Good steal on the finish by Som.
I love it. Just a good, quick steal, good recovery. You know, when you're a player like Adrian Som, you've worked hard all night long.
Terre Haute South, of course, plays in the MIC conference. Som puts up the 3. It's no good. Rebound controlled by the Giants. Mooresville plays in that mid-state conference. And
great conference. Great conference. One of the best ever.
With the Plainfield Quakers, I believe.
One of the best ever.
With the Plainfield Quakers being in that conference.
Yeah, Quakes are in that. Quakes are certainly.
Coach Benj and company, they have having a great season at Plainfield, girls basketball.
They've played well.
Tell you what, I just Plainfield is an up and a coming program, a program that you're going to start seeing great things from year in and year out, not just occasionally.
Cathedral went a little 2-3 on that last possession, and the deficiencies of his own defense is that you don't have clearly defined responsibilities and block out. And, it's hard to get a body on a body sometimes, especially when they're as quick as Ben Davis is. And Ben Davis is, we talked about their ability to run the break and do some things. They're a very good offensive rebounding team because they're so quick.
Huber had the free throw, by the way, on the other end. She has 6, and it's 62-20 with under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Close to a 5-second call. That is a 5-second call. And Spencer Toby.
That are there. It's hard to get kids this talented to play this well together as consistently as he's done it. And that's a credit to him, to Stan Benj and his staff, and a credit to these young ladies because this is not an easy thing to do. And they just play. There's no ego out there. They play together. They play hard. They play smart.
Yeah, they're playing for the name on the front. There's no doubt about that, Coach. Dee Dee Williams with a nice steal and a finish the other way by the
team is.
Cates picks off the long pass near the midcourt stripe. Too many arms to make that entry pass through. Breaking in transition. Throwing up off the glass just a bit short is Dee Dee Williams. Irish trying to save it back in bounds, and Ben Davis eventually loses the handle out of bounds.
To come play for him. I know she missed that shot, but
well, there's no question this team set their jaw after they were eliminated from postseason play last year and made it their goal to get back. Canzadori with a 2-pointer. Here her first points of the night. Quickly in transition. Ben Davis throws up a shot. Can't get it to fall.
Offensively, defensively, and we talked about it earlier. Not sure what weaknesses you can exploit with this group.
Stan Benj has quite the reserved demeanor on the sidelines as well. It's obvious he does a tremendous amount of his coaching and teaching during practice.
Very thorough. It's a team that has that inner drive. You're the consummate teacher. That's what you do. That's what you're about. I mean, that's in your core being. You're a teacher, and this is all about teaching young kids to overcome adversity and get better each day individually and collectively. And that's what she's doing, and that's what this group's done. It's not reflected necessarily on the scoreboard, but I think she'd take great pride in the fact that knowing that this team is better today than it was 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago.
64-22 at the end of period number 3. Fourth quarter action after this on IHSAAsports.org.